I put you down. I love you same way that I love you when no one's around. I pull in your driveway just to show you that I ain't no lame. I still got the key to the garage, you see, and the damn thing changed. Pull up round 3, take your penny.
What's going on, man? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted podcast. Hey, oh, hold on. I got somebody who sings with me today.
What's up?
You got to sing that. Sing. Can you sing? Shout out to K Major checking in. This has never been done in the history of industry's most wanted. I've been doing this for 12 years, and I've never had anybody sing my intro. Could you please?
All right, let's make something. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Give me like a little, it's called the industry's most wanted podcast. If you could just, sing that out for me or something. Never been done before.
The industry's most wanted podcast.
Yeah.
The industry's most wanted. I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about, my dog. Hey, nobody's ever done that for me before. Give me some love. Give me some love. Boom, we got one. We got a hit right there.
Number one.
That's a number one hit.
Number one.
Plaques on the way.
Let's go.
Billboards, all that. Listen, I appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you.
You have been, listen, I'm super familiar with the movement. I really respect what you got going on. It's a blessing to have you here. Introduce yourself.
Go by K Major, artist, songwriter, producer, 100%er. I'm in here. We locked in.
He is the industry's most wanted. You dig?
The industry's most wanted.
Man, before we get into it and talk about the new music that you got going on and everything that you're working on, let's just take it back a little bit so people understand your journey. I think that's an important part of the process is they got to understand how hard you work to get to where you're at right now.
Definitely.
Where did you grow up?
So I'm from Cartersville, Georgia.
Okay.
It's in North Georgia.
Yeah.
I was in a military family. My dad's in the Air Force.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up overseas, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And we traveled every 2 years, bouncing around
yeah.
different places.
All those deployments.
Yeah.
Understood.
Definitely. So definitely traveled growing up and, got into music when I was 12 years old. My dad was a booking agent on the side of doing the military thing.
Yeah.
So he was booking shows for like Bernie Mac and a lot of choirs and bands and stuff. And then my mom, she sung and played piano.
Yeah.
Just by
so it runs through your blood.
Yeah, so I always was around music growing up. And
that is so dope. Early. When did you discover that you could sing?
Okay, so singing came it was the T-Pain effect. I was rapping first.
Okay.
I was a rapper first. And I just couldn't find anybody to sing hooks or choruses where I was from. You had to figure it out yourself. So it became a thing. I just kept hitting and got better and better and better. And then I started taking it more serious.
I know that's right. Listen, I just think that there's such a lack of that, to be honest. I'm such a sucker for R&B music. I love every genre of music. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to every artist out there working. I love what's going on. But if I had to choose out of any genre, I'm going to go ahead and go with the R&B. It's just, it's so soulful. It touches your soul. And I think there's something for everybody out there.
Exactly.
But I think that, a lot of the music today has gotten away from that great 90s and 2000s.
Definitely has.
R&B.
Definitely has. It's coming back.
You here to bring it back?
I'm here to bring it back.
I know
There's
that's
a lot of
right.
dope artists doing some dope music right now, though, that I'm hearing.
Absolutely. There is. Absolutely. So you said you were rapping first.
I was rapping first.
Okay. About what age did you start doing that?
So I was 12 years old.
At 12?
12 years old.
Okay.
It started off on karaoke machine tapes and trying to find out how to get beats, what a producer was.
Right.
Things like that. And I just attacked it, just started rapping, freestyling with friends and just took off from there.
What were you talking about in your raps at 12?
I had a song. My first song was called Pimpology.
Can you give us a little bit of it?
I think I know 3 bars.
Let's hear just
it's Pimpology to make the ladies follow me. They calling me a scholar. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying. It was crazy.
No, that's dope though. Yeah. I really like the fact that you transitioned though. Do you still dibble and dabble in rapping at all?
Definitely. I've been dropping freestyles here more recently.
Yeah.
Gearing up for my project. I just been kind of giving content and trying to just showcase all my abilities in one.
Absolutely. I think that's important. And I consult with a lot of artists and I talk to them about that, how important it is for you to let people see every part of you.
Exactly. I held back from that for years. I thought, okay, I'm a singer now. I'm not a rapper.
Yeah.
I'm a rapper. I'm not a singer. I'm a producer. I'm not an artist.
Right.
I just thought all these things and now I'm just flooding the game with everything.
Absolutely. And you have to do that. One thing I'm a big fan of, you know, I get a lot of artists that want me to critique their music and give them some feedback. And I always listen for the switch ups in the song.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's so important because it really changes the dynamic of the songs. And I think as a singer, you can really do that without even really trying or forcing it, you know? So who were some of your inspirations? I know your pops obviously was, and your mom, because they were, you know, both involved, you know, but outside of that, like within the music business, anybody that was like one of those people that really inspired you?
Of course, growing up, you see Michael Jackson and those people, and, you know, you learn more about Quincy Jones. And then it gets into like The Dream and T-Pain and Pharrell Williams, Kanye West. You get into the people who's doing everything in one, so you relate. And I'm inspired by those people all the time.
Absolutely. And those are the people, like you said, that are doing a little bit of everything, and they're showcasing that, which I think is important because we have to have multiple hustles out here. We can't just do this. Yeah, we can't just do the same thing, especially when you got so many different talents. You got to let the world know about it.
Got to.
Do you ever aspire to do film? You just look like you could be on the big screen.
People tell me that all the time.
You should.
Like I got an acting personality.
Like
I can be real chill and I can just like get into character real fast.
So we gonna see that coming soon?
Oh, definitely.
I know that's right.
Somebody gonna give me a part.
So let's just talk about that just for a second. If you were offered a role and you could choose what type of character you wanted to play, what would you want to be your big premiere? Something funny?
I would probably be
a villain,
like a romantic drug dealer.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably be a romantic drug dealer.
A romantic
Tatted
drug
up, you know what I'm saying? I got tattoos.
Right.
Yeah.
Flip the script on them. I like that.
Put a bandana on. Get at it.
So you out here in the Atlanta area now, full time?
Yeah, I love Atlanta. I've been here my whole life, kind of, because Cartersville is only 45 minutes north of here. So driving to the city was always something you had to do where I was from.
Absolutely.
So I'm still here grinding.
So let's talk about the transition from, you know, like you said, you still do freestyles and stuff, but you probably are more on the R&B side now, right?
Way more.
What was that transition like for you? Because, you know, some artists just, they stay in their same lane throughout their entire career. And I think it's dope that you made that transition. Tell us about that.
I think it was women.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was women telling me, "Oh, you sound good. You sing me something."
That's all you needed.
Yeah, that's all I needed.
Few ladies saying, "Oh, you sound good."
Yeah, I get to the rap later. Yeah, they're not messing with that.
Well, because Slick, women are going to be the biggest consumers of your music anyway.
And they are.
You know, they're the ones that are going to listen to it, buy it, download it, stream it, tell their homegirls about it, turn up into the club, you know, when your song comes on.
And be honest about it.
And be very honest about it. Absolutely. How would you say being in and around the Atlanta market has helped you musically?
It's definitely helped me musically in a great way. It's a lot of talent and creators here. It's a melting pot for that. So everywhere you go, you're going to meet somebody who's doing something.
Yeah.
Whether it's playing guitar or acting or, you know, a producer or engineer. So you always meeting these people. And it's like then you start meeting people you look up to in the same city, like the T.I.s, The Dream. I had a chance to be to work with The Dream. I was signed to Tricky Stewart for a minute. And just seeing that whole dynamic work and how long it's been going on. Like it was artists like Justin Bieber who came through Atlanta, Pink who came through Atlanta, Outkast, Dungeon Family. It's a lot of good music outside of what you hear today. It's still like it's been a melting pot for a long time.
Absolutely, I agree. Who would be a dream collab for you?
Jay-Z.
Okay. Talk to us about that. Why Jay-Z?
I've always, when I was rapping, I always looked up to Jay-Z because he was the business.
Yeah.
He was the business guy.
He definitely is.
Unstoppable, invincible, and then he was a great artist, performer as well. So I always studied Jay-Z, and it's a person that I haven't crossed in my path in the industry so far. So I'm like, yeah, definitely Jay-Z.
Hey, Jay-Z, come on now. Come with it. We need that collab.
Yeah. And Drake. Let me throw Drake in there.
Oh, yeah, definitely Drake. Throughout your journey in this music business, let's talk about some of the highlights and some of the struggles. I always think it's important to shine on this because it could potentially either motivate someone or help somebody else.
Definitely.
What's been one of those major struggles that you really had to overcome within music?
Okay, so when I came in the industry, I was an artist. You know, I was just fully an artist.
Yeah.
And then you meet people who want to buy your songs, sing your songs, buy beats from you, your beats that you're producing for yourself.
Yeah.
So you go with that because you're like, okay, maybe this is my calling. You know, it made me successful doing that first.
Yeah.
I got royalties and publishing, and I was learning about the business this way faster than being an artist. So then you circle back around, and it's like, now I'm an artist.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, but songwriter, producer, and they put you in a box. So trying to get out that box in people's minds, like changing their perspective of what's going on and putting them more in tune has been a fight.
Do you think that comes from more people who don't really understand the music industry?
Most definitely. You know, people, of course, going to look at the artist shining, performing, doing interviews, and they're like, okay, he's the guy.
Yeah.
They don't really see the people behind that's really moving the ship.
Absolutely. Most definitely. That's why we got to put them on game.
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed that too, you know, throughout my journey in this music business is that it's the people who are not involved who have the most to say.
Exactly.
And I'm like, you don't understand it. So, you know,
understand.
have several seats.
Several seats. Let's kick back.
Facts. Absolutely. Let's take it to the flip side, though. I know you've had some great moments. What would be one of those that you could go back and relive? You would do it.
Definitely working with the Dream.
Tell us about that.
When I met Dream, you know, he was the big brother, you know, the hazing factor. He like, oh, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Got that kind of energy, and it was like it transitioned to a brotherhood where he was kind of like mentoring, teaching more than anything, from coming in the studio and, you know, just brief, just real fast, something he'll tell you, like, you know, stop overthinking.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a big one.
You already heard it, just do it. Like, just certain things he would teach along the way really molded me into a better songwriter and producer.
Yeah.
You know, so reliving those moments always in my head is what's keeping me going even now.
Absolutely. And I think that's what a lot of people get caught up in life, business, friendships, is being in their own head.
Exactly.
Overthinking everything. I was super guilty of that. And I used to literally get anxiety and stress myself out over nothing.
Over nothing.
I'm like, this too shall pass. You know, like just keep it going, keep it moving.
Keep going.
That's really dope. There's not a lot of people who have that opportunity to be able to sit in with someone like that who's going to put them on game and teach them stuff like that, because it's important.
Yeah, and he didn't give it easy. You know, it was always like, oh, figure that out. Or, you know, you'll figure it out. We'll have this conversation again. So, yeah, it's definitely a blessing.
Have you circled back and done any work with him?
We haven't worked, but always talking, always competitive mindsets, you know. Come play basketball, you know. What's up today?
Are you a hooper?
A little bit.
A little something?
Yeah, I'm athletic.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm athletic.
You look like you're in good shape.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm in okay shape right now. I'm getting there.
As an artist, you need to be in
you gotta, because
you gotta have your endurance, especially if you're doing a full-on show, concert, like.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
Tour coming soon. I'm only week 3 in the gym right now, so that's why I said I'm almost over the hump.
Let's talk about that, because I think that's important, especially, you know, I know you're still young, but like, you know, as we get older, we have to be mindful of stuff like that, because you know, putting the wrong things in your body and not taking care of yourself will certainly shorten your life.
Oh, definitely.
How important is it to you? And I really want to focus on this, because I try to instill this in a lot of these younger artists, because they're living very recklessly. And I'm like, it will catch up to you. I promise you. I know it's fun right now, but in 20 years, you're going to be suffering. How important is it to you to really take care of yourself, being the position you're in this music business?
Yeah, definitely taking, you know, it's important. Every night you in the studio, 12 hours, maybe a whole day, 2 days, and you eating fast food all the time.
Right.
You start to feel it, you know.
Get sluggish.
You start to get sluggish. You sleeping all the time. You getting headaches. So it's important to just stay up on that. And then when you're a performer, you know, being on stage, performing and entertaining people, you got to sing those songs and run across the stage and doing choreography. You're doing all,
it's like a whole cardio workout.
Yeah, so it's like you got to be ready and in tune with that, or you're going to pass out.
Definitely. What has been your most memorable moment performance-wise? Like, what was it, a city, state, a particular stage? Yeah,
I did a tour with an artist named Somo.
Okay.
A couple years back. It was called the Answers Tour, and we did maybe like 33 cities around the United States. And just that whole tour was a breaking moment for me. That was my first time touring at a major level. And just to see people I've never met before sing like my songs, and I was asking them at the merch table, like, how did you find out about me? You know,
yeah, you want to know, right?
What's your platform? I'm like, oh, I follow you on Spotify, or I listen to you on Pandora. So it really put me more in tune with analytics, watching your streaming, and just different things like that.
Absolutely. That's key, and that's very important as an artist. You have to understand how to check your analytics. Go into your Spotify artist page and see, you know, who's actually streaming it, and also see if the song starts to dive down a little bit. Okay, well, might need to amp it back up or put a new single out or something like that.
Demographic is important. Different songs worked in different areas.
Right.
Some songs didn't work, so.
Facts. Absolutely. Let's talk about that. Being that you were on a tour, you said around 30 cities?
Yeah, it was like 33 cities.
Okay. A lot of artists, and this is going to be, you know, for you to maybe give some gems and jewels to some aspiring artists or artists on the rise. I think that's one of the key things that a lot of artists want to do is they want to go on tour. And it looks glamorous, but I'm sure it's tough.
Oh, it's the most work you'll probably put in your whole career. You know, touring, you spending a lot of money to tour. You know, people don't think about the hotels, flights, the crew, per diems, DJ fees, stage and lighting, security. You got all these fees and things you paying, and you got to make that money back.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you don't break even. Sometimes you're going out on tour to lose.
Yes.
It's all promotion and to get in front of your fans and to stay in tune. But it's very important to get that hand-to-hand contact with your fans.
Man, I'm so glad that you broke that down, because I think a lot of artists don't understand that. They feel like, I get artists that come to me that are barely known in this city, and they're like, well, how much can you get me for a show out here? I said, nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you.
Yeah.
You know, no promoter is going to take a risk of paying you 5 stacks or whatever and not making it back.
Not making it back.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of work along your journey. I think probably at any level where you're still spending.
Oh, you have to. I learned it early. Being from Cartersville, coming to Atlanta was a cost. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Getting a hotel down here or having to drive back was a cost. And then, you know, from there, it's like, okay, we're in this city. How do we get to other cities? We literally had to, you know, get in the car and just go.
Right.
Like, go to Montgomery, go to Birmingham, go to Columbus, Savannah, Valdosta. We did TJ's DJs in Tallahassee. We did core DJ retreats everywhere.
You done all that. I love it.
We was moving, just trying to figure it out to get to this point.
Absolutely. And there's so many steps within this business that you can't step. And that's the unfortunate part, is a lot of artists, they want to skip and go straight to the top. They don't want to do interviews, and they don't want to do showcases, and they don't want to do the retreats, and you can't miss any of that stuff.
It's always been weird to me that artists don't like interviewing.
Yeah.
I understand for some bigger artists, like when it's certain things that you just got.
They don't want to talk about.
Yeah, for the hype of your next project coming, you don't
Yeah.
want to say nothing until then or anything like that. But for artists to just come out and say, "Oh, or miss interviews or don't show up," it's just weird.
I love you. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 12 years, and I've just, you know, for the most part, majority of the artists and, you know, different entrepreneurs that I've interviewed have been great, but there's a few of them are just like, just weird. That I've had to send them out, that I've gotten confrontation with just because their energy is so off. I'm like,
where you from? I'm from Atlanta.
Oh, I had one tell me he was from Saturn.
What?
No lie. I asked him where he from, and I hope you're watching this because you're a whole weirdo. I asked him where he was from, and he said, Saturn. I was like, bro, come on. And he swore. I said, come on, for real? He's like, no, I'm from Saturn. I'm like, okay, we'll leave it right there. I already see where this is going.
Yeah, he was in character, full character.
Yeah, he was on something.
Full artist mode.
Man, that's what I was still at Highly Unique. You know all the weirdos was coming through over there. Wow.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're working on right now? I know you got a new single. You know, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but you know, I know you're always in work mode, always in grind mode. What are you working on?
So I'm producing and writing still.
Yeah.
Writing for Chris Brown a little bit, working on his album behind scenes. Don't know if anything will make the album. This is not what that is. I'm just saying these are things that I'm working on. Currently got Erica Banks' single out that I co-produced with producer Dodo. It's called Throw a Little More. Do It. That's what I titled it, Do It. But,
okay.
You know, got 2 titles right now, but co-produced that. Did 4 on her upcoming project. And just Jacquees' albums coming out soon. I did maybe 3 on that album.
That is amazing.
So just continuing to produce and songwrite behind the scenes too.
Let's talk about the production side a little bit, because there's a lot of aspiring producers out there as well. And, you know, I have a lot of love for producers, because I think it's a little tougher for them to get shine because they're always in the studio working, right? You know, shout out to Drummer Boy. That's my dog. You know, I always pick his brain about stuff like this too. But, you know, for the aspiring producers out there, where would you say that they need to start when it comes to getting placements before the major level? Like, should they be reaching out to artists, waiting for artists to reach out to them? Let's talk about that.
I just signed a producer named Boogie Beats from Cartersville, Georgia. As well.
And, you took it back to the hometown. I love that.
Definitely took it back. And he was grinding, so it's a good topic. We talk about it every day. You know, he started off on YouTube and BeatStars.
Right.
And just kind of selling beats and learning that game, and then now he's kind of learning the business of how different it is between, you know, selling a lease and exclusive rights over here and actually selling licenses and rights and publishing over here to major labels. So I think it's important first for producers to learn the business of what they're doing. A lot of producers that he'll even work with now won't have PROs like ASCAP or BMI.
Right, exactly.
Or they won't have
they don't even know what it is.
Or entertainment lawyers. So when things happen, they're already losing the battle. Like even if it's good for them, they don't have things set up to continue to play. So it's very important to learn the business. You know, study the business as much as you can, watch interviews as much as you can, read as much as you can, and then do what you're doing.
Absolutely. It's all about educating yourself. We can't sit around and wait for other people to necessarily teach us. Like you said, we got YouTube. YouTube, you can learn anything on there.
Yeah,
you know, Google it, figure it out, because I've experienced working with some producers, with artists that I was working with, and we'd ask them for like a producer agreement, and the producer didn't know what it was.
Exactly.
They had no idea. And I was like, and it's not to throw shade. I was just like, I should know this over you. I'm not a producer.
That's what happens all the time. They get in the game, they think, you know, just hitting artists up and hitting these people up, you know, maybe I'll get in contact with this artist and maybe I'll get a song on the album. But once it starts happening, that artist might buy your beat for $200 and go make $2 million.
Yes.
Because you didn't know what you were doing. So
y'all better pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Anybody tuned in watching this, he's putting you on major game, because you should be making a cut of that as a producer.
Secure the bag.
Secure the bag.
Yes, definitely.
Who would you say who was like one of the artists that you produced for that, you know, really like maybe gave you some notoriety as a producer?
Yeah, Future.
Okay.
Future was the first. I was working in a studio, Tricky Stewart studio in Atlanta, and he was working on one of those albums he was working on. He was in the studio. And I remember one day he just walked in the room. Like, he just walked in my room. He was kind of like, you know, I don't do this, but what's this? What you working on?
He heard
who are
it?
you?
Yeah.
Who are you and what's this? And so that day, you know, he brought me in his session, and we ended up placing that record on Usher instantly, like that night, you know. So and from there he kept calling me in and just like, what you got? Boom, boom. And I ended up producing like Looking Exotic with Southside and Jake Uno. And then Keep Quiet on Hendrix, and Save Me, St. Lucia on Save Me album. I did a Salute with Spins on Purple Rain. He just kept applying me in those, you know, directions and staying on me behind scenes, but giving me that look, you know, that real look from the business standpoint too. Like, hey, tell them this when they call, like everything. So
let me ask you this: when you do that, do you let these artists or these, you know, other artists know if they're not familiar with your artistry that you're also an artist? Do you plug that in there?
I mean, I think it comes off as that at first. If they don't know me, they're like, oh, he's an artist. And then they like, yo, wait, so you write? Okay, so let me get this hook. You mind if Jeremiah sings this or Usher? I'm like, nah, it's cool. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Well, got some beats? I'm like, yeah, I got some beats too. And then it kind of like goes in that direction.
Right.
So, you know, getting it back to the artist direction after that has been the difficult part.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, definitely. I wasn't early in my career. I was just kind of like getting in. Getting in. And now in my career, I'm kind of like hitting people back up like, yo.
Because you've got a lot of notoriety now to stand on. Definitely. You know, you're not just starting out, and you don't have, you know, if you didn't have any credentials at all, you probably want to kind of stick to the script.
Yeah.
But now you've got a lot of credentials. You've done a lot, you know, as an artist and a producer. Mm-hmm. Do you dabble into engineering at all?
Oh, I definitely engineer. I record all my own
What do you not do?
Yeah, I do everything. I do graphics. I do like websites. I have a lot of talents that I don't showcase to people because I don't want them to hit me up for those.
You're like, I don't want to design your mixtape cover.
No,
I have no desire for that. Go to Fiverr.
Exactly. Just trying to get mine and keep it going.
And that's dope though, because that you're able to cut out a lot of situations, because one of the worst things to do is to wait on a graphic.
Yeah, I paid people like to
I know Gambino probably feel that too.
It don't matter. It don't matter who you pay or who you know. With that, sometimes it's just like I just got to do it myself.
Yes.
By the time I call you for 8 changes, I might as well just do it.
You just learn how to do it yourself, most definitely. So it's safe to say that you're a major asset to any situation you step into.
I feel like it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm that now. For a long time, I ran from that. You know, humbly, just was like, oh no, you know, I'm just doing what I can. You know, just working, grinding. I watched the Swiss Beats interview one time. He was like, we got to stop doing that. We got to kind of own what we do. So yeah, every situation I've been in is kind of. I've exploited it to the world without even knowing I was doing that before myself. Yeah. Like artists that I've worked with before they were successful, once I touched it, it kind of did this, whether it was just from the music I was doing, you know, or whatever the situation was, but it always was successful. And so now I'm like, oh, I got Midas touch. Like I
was just about to say that you got the Midas touch. Everything you touch turns to gold.
Yeah, so I'm careful. I'm careful nowadays. I'm more like, let me focus on me and whatever I can help with along that way, that journey. I can do that.
Absolutely. You know, and I talk about this a lot. You know, your passion has led you to your purpose in life. Mm-hmm. You know, your passion is obviously this music business, but your purpose is you're really out here helping people and changing people's lives.
I love helping people. It's natural. It's like the first thought, like, oh, let me help you do this. And then I'm like, dang, I put so much time into that. I didn't do this for me. So it's always like that.
Let's talk about that for just a minute, because a lot of people get caught up in pouring themselves into other people. I'm very guilty of that.
Yeah.
I find the good in people and I pour myself into them, and a lot of times it comes back to bite you in the butt, you know?
Always. Like, yeah.
How do you deal with them type of situations?
I just keep going. I try to spread love the same way, no matter what. I'm learning that more, you know, in my growth in life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just learning to continue to just give the same energy. Like, don't short somebody because of what somebody else did to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the trauma follow you. So I'm just like, spreading love. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. I don't need anything in return. I do it from my heart to just do it for me.
You know why?
You know what I'm saying?
Because we don't get our blessings from no man. We get them from God.
Exactly.
And that's what I live by, you know, like if you pour yourself in, you help somebody, you lend them and they don't reciprocate, that's cool.
That's cool.
God's going to take care of us on that situation.
Exactly. Yep.
If you owe me $100, it's yours. Keep it, because I'm gonna get back way more than that, because God gonna bless us.
I never do business with you again. Keep the 100. I'm gonna make this million.
I'll do a head nod from a distance, and that's all you're gonna get.
Exactly. I got you.
So you have you're planning another promo tour?
Oh yeah. So the artist I toured with years ago, Somo, is doing another tour soon. I'm thinking about joining that tour.
Yes.
We're kind of mapping that out right now, trying to figure out if I'm gonna join that tour. If not, I'm still doing shows that I'm getting booked. Like, bookings are coming in, so I'm scheduling for June and July now, August, and just trying to map out what it actually is. If it's a lot of dates, I'll tour name it a tour.
Yeah.
If not, I'll just do a lot of spot dates, because that's something I've lacked in through the years. I haven't done enough of my own shows in areas.
Absolutely, because you're at that point in your career that you can do it.
Yeah.
You could bring people out.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily have somebody else there to help you.
Nah, I always, from touring, you get used to thousands of people in the crowd.
Yeah.
So when you think about doing your own shows, you have a fear of, like, is it 1,000 people going to show up?
Yeah.
But as you go and go, you're like, oh, you know what? I can get 100, 200 people in here, and you just start mapping it out.
Absolutely. And that's a blessing right there. And a lot of people will discount that. They're like, oh, there's only 100 people here. That's 100 people that took time out of their schedule, paid to get in, drove through the traffic, dealt with some craziness to come see you. You have to be grateful for that.
Most definitely. And shout out to Gambino for the roadmap. You know, he puts on events. I've been watching him for years.
Gambino is the GOAT.
Seeing him go from
It's
day
my
one
dog.
to now is crazy.
Yes.
So it's possible. It's showing that it's possible.
Absolutely. I always get excited when Gambino hits me up, because I've known Gambino forever and ever, amen, a long time. Because when I first moved here, I was doing showcases, and the Gambino would support. And I just, it's rare that you find people like that in this business.
Most definitely.
Real is rare. Who styles your hair? I like it.
Hair by Asia, Crown by Asia.
Okay.
That's my hairstylist.
Shout out to Asia.
Yeah, she do the whole game. Yeah, she clean. She right here in Atlanta.
Okay, that's dope, man. Well, listen, I know you got a new record out right now.
Yeah.
Tell everybody a little bit about it, where it's available. We want to make sure we put some shine on that.
Most definitely. I got an EP out right now called You'll Love It Here. Make sure you go get that. It's got my single on there, Put You On, featuring Jacquees. We had 500,000 streams. The video just dropped.
Nice.
It's going up.
That's so dope. Talk to us about this particular record. How did that collab come about? I know you guys have done work together.
Yeah. He was working on his album that's coming out, and I was working on the project myself. It was a song I had. I went over his house. He called me one day like, hey, what you working on? I see you working on something. Pull up. Play some music. Let me play you some stuff. You play me some stuff. So we just playing records back and forth. I played them, Put You On, and he was like, oh, yeah.
That's it.
Load it up. I got it. We ended up doing like 2 like that. It was another one that was actually his favorite, but Put You On was something that felt good for me. I was like, I got to drop this one right now.
Yes.
So we just put it out, and then it just, people love it. People love when we collaborate a lot, so we try to do 1 or 2,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So people get familiar with you guys working together.
Most definitely.
Another question. When it comes to working with artists, I'm sure you probably get hit up. Artists want features from you, this, that, and the third. And you can't work with everybody.
No.
You just can't, for various reasons.
For
For the artists that you do choose to work with, what is it about those particular artists that you're like, you know what, I'll go ahead and do this feature for them?
Yeah, the first one is they're serious about their craft. It's not just like a one-off type thing or something they doing for a month and gonna give up.
Right.
It's somebody
Not
who's-
throwing it on SoundCloud.
It's somebody
Calling
who's
it a day.
really trying to do this. Exactly. And then it's just like the passion, the record, the sound of the record. Did they take their time on it? Is it a good record?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a great relationship with somebody, but the song will be trash.
And you got to be honest with them.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you, I'm be like, this is not the song.
That's
Typically,
not it.
I'll do one. Like I'll just do it. And then yeah.
No, that's good. You have to be honest with them, and that's the thing, people, they need to hear that, whether they get offended or not.
Yeah.
If you get offended by that, then this is not the business
It's
for
not
you.
the business for you. No.
Period.
No.
So where can we catch you at next?
Man, tour, shows and tour. That's where you can catch me next. That's my plan. I'm trying to pull up everywhere I'm needed and wanted.
I know that's right. Can I get you to bless the cover of my magazine on one of the issues?
Most definitely.
We've been publishing the Grind Report for 11 years now. It's really out there. So I would love to have you on the cover on one of my issues.
Man, yeah.
I'll make sure you get hard copies, all that.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, that'll be real dope.
Frame it, put it on the wall.
I know that's right.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Well, listen, before we get out of here, there's a couple things that we got to do. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
I know you have a busy schedule. I know you got a lot going on. So for you to come over here, I'm appreciative. I'm grateful. Shout out to you guys that came with you. Of course, my dog Gambino, you know what I'm saying?
What's up?
Is he rocking a Batman shirt?
I think that's
see you.
I feel like Batman this summer.
I want to see you in full Batman costume one of these days. You say Halloween.
Getting that tight suit.
That's so funny because I was just having a conversation with somebody and her and I are thinking about doing like a Halloween party together. So I want to see you pull up. No, you got to pull up in your Batman costume.
Yeah. Batman.
He's so silly. Before we get out of here, 3 things that we're going to do. 1, tell everybody where they can follow and keep up with you.
Follow me on Instagram at KMajorMusic. I just started a new website, themajorityrules.co.
Okay.
It's a new website where I got my merch and everything, but you also can find all my updates, tour information, videos like that. So definitely follow me there.
So that's the brand that you're pushing?
The Majority Rules.
I love
it's like,
that.
Yeah, I'm starting. I had the Majority Rules when I first started doing music, but now that I understand branding a little more, I'm just kind of sprinkling it as I go.
There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. Along with all the other things that you do.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's like a plethora of stuff. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Man, shout out to my fans and supporters, my day ones and new fans that's coming in. Continue to stream, listen to my music. Let's go.
Absolutely. And last but not least, and this is the most important question of the whole night.
Oh, yeah.
We got K Major checking in on the industry's most wanted, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you got to let the whole world know what makes you the industry's most wanted.
I'm everything that's needed, in the music industry, from producing, from writing, to just advice from being in the game so long and all the losses I took into winning now and being successful. I'm a hell of an artist, performer, producer, songwriter, everything that you can imagine. So just spend some time learning me and, getting to know me more, and you'll see why I'm the industry's most wanted.
I love that answer. One more time. Give me some love. Boom. Appreciate you being here. We up out of here, you guys.